Live from the BDN Studios, it's Bang and Dang.
That's awesome.
If you don't like that, then
You ain't black.
Hi, welcome back to Outlaws, Gunslingers, second week of the month, which means we're back on motorcycle gangs and we're back on the Bandidos.
Yeah, and everybody that got their government checks last week are broke already and got another 3 weeks to go.
Yeah. We're taking a look at we alluded to this last month on Canada's Bandido history. It's the Shedden Massacre, which was the killing of 8 men whose bodies were found in a field 5 kilometers, if you're anywhere else in the world besides America, north of Shedden, which is a small village in
5
Ontario.
kilometers is what, 2.5 miles? 2 miles?
That happened April 8th, 2006. The Bandidos, they tried to expand in Canada. One in Toronto, one in Winnipeg, but wasn't going to happen, especially in Canada. It's Hells Angels. But there was tension between these groups and some real power struggles happening behind the scenes.
As always.
That's the early era 2000s in Ontario, and the motorcycle club world is in a bit of a shakeup. You got the Chatham chapter of the Loners Motorcycle Club, and these guys, they're in a tough spot. Standing up to the Hells Angels on their own, that ain't going to happen. The Angels, they're too big, too organized, and they don't really give a shit either. So the Loners decided to make a move.
And that move happened on the 22nd of May, 2001. They joined with the Bandidos. Not as full-fledged members right away, but as probationary ones.
Yeah.
Kind of like a trial run to see if both sides could work together. 6 months later, 1st of December, probation over. Officially, Bandidos. Among the guys making a jump, Wayne Kellenstein, Giovanni Musadea. 2 names that are going to matter a lot as this story plays out. We're just gonna
sure will.
We're just gonna refer to Musadea as Giovanni.
Right. Fast forward June 5th, 2002, things take a hit. Police, they've been running a series of raids targeting the Bandidos across Ontario and Quebec, and they scored big. Several members arrested. So many guys suddenly gone. The organization's leadership got flipped upside down.
Yeah.
Upside down.
And that's when shit happens because you lose
Boy, you turned me.
your level-headed guys, and now you got a bunch of
Right.
psychos running the show.
And this is all where Giovanni Musadea, he steps into the spotlight.
Oh. He becomes the new president, the Canadian Bandidos. Not because he staged some dramatic takeover, but only because he was literally the only senior Bandido left who wasn't either in prison or facing charges. Now,
Didn't have nobody else to turn to.
that's up then they were. Now, after those arrests, the Canadian Bandidos were barely hanging on. Numbers tell the story. 15 members in all of Ontario.
Oh.
Split across 3 chapters, 5 apiece. That's terrible. And even that didn't last. Those chapters, they got merged into the single Toronto-based chapter. I mean, you can't have chapters with 5 guys.
Right. Well, we say based in Toronto because in reality, the members were scattered all over southern Ontario. They weren't some tight central group anymore. It was like a name holding them together than an actual unified presence.
Right.
And from that point forward, Giovanni was at the head of this very stripped down, scattered version of the Canadian Bandidos. He's trying to keep the whole thing from just exploding, imploding, I should say.
It's getting close. July 2004. Giovanni. He's looking to expand the Bandidos. He opens up a brand new chapter in Winnipeg. But these guys, they aren't full members yet. Just probationary.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
And they're on the hook to prove themselves to be members. At this point, I don't think they care. As long as you can start a motorcycle and ride it, good to go. At the head of this Winnipeg crew, you guessed it, they call him Taz, Michael Sandom. Sandom, now he's not your typical outlaw biker. In fact, he used to be a police guy.
He used to be a popo.
Yep, cop. But not for long.
I would assume.
He resigned before he could get fired, all because of his connections to the outlaw biker gang. Once he crossed over to the other side, fucking Anakin over here, he worked overtime to bury that little piece of his past. He didn't want anybody knowing.
Yeah, I would assume not.
Ooh, if they found out, you're fucked.
Well, a month later, August 2004, Wayne Kellenstein, he's back in the picture. He's just been released from prison after serving time on gun and drug charges. Gun and drugs.
Oh, so he's a felon.
He re-enters the Bandidos as the Sargento de Armas, which is Sergeant at Arms.
Oh, jeez. Makes sense.
But here's the problem. The guy who used to be his protege, Giovanni, he's now running the whole show. And Kellenstein, as you would imagine, he's not too thrilled about answering to him.
I mean, what do you expect?
It's like,
You think
he
he thought he was just come out and take over?
What are we doing a Civil War episode? Jeez.
Right. journalist Peter Edwards, he says this: biker clubs love to talk about being all about freedom, but in reality, they're strict, quasi-military strict, rigid hierarchies, rules for everything, from how you talk to how you dress. For Kallenstein, it's a serious blow to the ego, right? Just a few years earlier, when he was president of the Annihilators, he was the one giving Giovanni orders.
I thought it was the losers. Or the loners.
Right.
The Annihilators.
Well, now the rose has reversed, and it burned.
It burned. Well, when Sandom first came a knocking, wanting to join the Bandidos, one leader in particular, Frank Lenti, they call him Cisco, he wasn't buying it.
He's like something weird.
He kept hearing some whispers.
Right.
This guy used to be a cop. The Outlaws rejected him for it.
Oh.
Not exactly a going reference in the outlaw world.
Right.
So Lenti tells Kallenstein to dig into Sandom's past, and he comes back saying, nope, nothing to do. Nothing to it. Sandom was never a policeman. That's what they say. But obviously we know that's true. That's not true. Wait. Yeah, that's not true.
It is true.
It's not true that he isn't a cop.
Right.
Wasn't a cop. That's what was reported back at the time, so he was getting it suppressed somewhere.
So he's probably still working undercover somewhere, or he's a CI, I bet. Let's jump ahead to the 25th of June, 2005. Sandom, he rose up to Kallenstein's farm. He's frustrated. He's pissed. He can barely turn his bike off. He misses the kickstand a couple times to put his bike down. The Toronto chapter still won't grant his Winnipeg crew full membership, he said. And he wants Kallenstein's backing to change that. The hold up, you ask? Well, Luis Rapazzo, they call him Choppa, the Toronto treasurer, he accuses Sandom of not paying monthly dues. He's like, the motherfucker ain't paying. He owes Toronto some money. Sandom was like, fuck yeah, I paid. Prozo says he hasn't. Who do you go?
That's a classic standoff here.
Do you go with the probie or your treasurer?
Right. Journalist Edwards also points out that Sandom had this knack for ruthless politicking. The man's goal, he wanted total control of the Canadian outlaw biker scene. And when he first wanted in back in 2004, he was all smiles and compliments to old Giovanni Raposo and Frank Salerno.
Oh, Frank Salerno, huh?
But once they started blocking his ambitions, he flipped. Sandom starts writing emails to the Bandidos mother chapter down in Houston.
Oh my gosh, emails.
Right, and these aren't friendly updates either. He's actively undermining Giovanni, accusing him of bad leadership, and even throwing out accusations that Raposo's been embezzling money.
Oh my! At least in the Civil War, the generals that didn't like each other, they
still work together, at least.
Right,
For the most part.
He's still pretty good, but
Right.
I just can't stand a motherfucker.
And as you would think, that sets the stage for a whole lot of bad blood.
A whole lot of bad blood.
We got bad blood.
So, December 2005 rolls around. Things take a dark, brutal turn. 6th of December. Drug dealer Sean Dowse murdered.
Oh.
Last time anyone saw him alive, that same day, he was at the Department of Bandito Prospect. Jamie Flans, this was in Keswick, they call Jamie Flans Goldberg. 4 Bandinos would later be charged with the murder. Serious supposedly went down. One Bandito, Cameron Acorn. Serious problem with Dowse. First, Acorn had ordered him to stop selling cocaine to his girlfriend's sister.
Oh, yeah.
Take it down, bitch. She's fucking 15.
Right.
Dowse, he said, fuck that. I'm getting my money. On top of that, there might have been a personal angle. Rumor has it, and he slept with her as well. Wow. Either way, Acorn decided Dowse had to go.
Gotta go. We gotta douse him.
Right.
Well, now, Dowse wasn't just a dealer. He was a father of 2, working at the Chrysler factory in Bramalia.
Oh, wow.
But to the Bandidos, especially this group, he was a target. Flans, he wasn't even a full member yet, just a prospect. But he figured if he let the full patch of guys use his place for whatever they needed, maybe it would earn him that patch he so ever wanted. So Robert Quinn, another Bandito, and his girlfriend called Dowse from her cell phone. She tells him she's at a party in Flans' place and needs cocaine right away. Come on, bud. We got you make hundreds probably right now. Get on down here.
Oh, well, the reality of it was the all-white Banditos despised Dowse.
What is he not?
He's black
That's
Jamaican. Yeah, he's a black Jamaican. Quinn's girlfriend, she later testified that he was regularly referred to with the N-word. Outlaw biker circles, white supremacist attitudes, they aren't rare, as we all know. It's considered honorable to kill non-whites. Really wish you wouldn't have done that, but he Did you at least get rid of the body?
Right.
Yeah. Have any evidence? No. Okay.
Here's your patch.
Right. Dowsey takes a taxi over to Flan's apartment. As soon as he walks in, Acorn and a fellow banditos, Pierre Aragon, Rudolph Brown, and Paul Sinopoli, and also Robert Quinn, they all jump on this motherfucker, beating the shit out of him. They gag him. They drag him down the basement, still kicking the shit out of his face and his ribs and his balls and his, like, stomping on his knees and shit, dude. This guy's fucked up. Douse keeps screaming, "I'm sorry," over and over and over. What the fuck did I do, right? But no mercy was shown. Just kicking and punching and digging and scratching.
Living and loving and hoping and praying.
In their minds, he's nothing more than
a racial slur.
Wow.
Well, later that night, Flans comes home from a side job, bouncing at a bar. He walks in, sees what happened. He's shocked and furious. Not because of the morality of it, because it's sloppy. Douse took a taxi there, which means somebody already knows that he went there.
All right.
Easily connect the dots to Flans's address.
All right. The Popo was like, okay, we know you did this.
Well, but Flans's ambition wins out. He wants that full patch. So instead of calling the cops, he helps clean up the scene. Well, of course he would.
Right.
2 days later, December 8th, Douse's burned body is found. The Ontario Provincial Police immediately suspect Flans.
Wow. Instantly, huh?
They tap his phone as the investigation into Douse's death ramps up. They put the entire Toronto Bandidos chapter under surveillance.
You might as well.
Dude, you just fucked your chance of getting any patch.
Ooh.
Every phone monitored.
Oh, you're screwed. Well, 3 days after Christmas, another blow hits. American Bandidos leadership, already fed up with Giovanni's performance, officially expel him and his crew. So you guys are done. They're not making any money, they say. They're behind on dues.
That's all they care about.
Their operations are sloppy. They're getting everybody busted. And if it comes down here, we're going to be pissed. One Texas Department of Public Safety officer, he put it, the U.S. Bandidos were ready to cut Canada loose. He said, when you're not even breaking even on drugs, like any other trade, you close that business. If you're not bringing anything to the pot, you're a liability.
Especially if people are going to prison and you're getting attention drawn on you.
Right. Giovanni gets that news, and it floors him. He don't know what to do. He takes to drinking, more drugs. He's hitting it. It hits him hard.
Yeah, well, then Houston, they order them to return their patches and property. He sends out an email to Bandidos chapters worldwide calling for a vote to let them stay. Oh, geez. Jeff Pike, the world leader of the Bandidos, shoots back with a blunt reminder. Bandidos don't vote. They do what the fuck they're told.
Oh, where's fucking Andrew Dice Clay when you need him?
But Giovanni, he ain't backing down. He and his guys start calling themselves the No Surrender Crew. Borrowing the name from a violent faction of the Irish Republican Army, IRA. Well, they opposed the 1998 Good Friday Agreement. Oh, that's where, the bombings. Those guys crazy.
Bruce Springsteen? No retreat, baby, no surrender.
I've never heard that song in my life, but it's kind of,
The boss.
Well, they flat out refuse to give up their patches, and in the outlaw biker world, that's a huge deal.
Huge. Bigoted. The patch is everything to everybody. It belongs to the club, not only a man wearing it.
Not the man wearing it.
Right, and not the man wearing it. Belongs to the club, baby. Keeping it after you're out is like spitting on the club's face. People have been beat.
That's why I would never... I'd never join an outlaw biker gang, but
right.
Even if I did, I would never get it tattooed on me because you never know what the hell kind of silly shit's going to happen. Right. And they're going to cut it off me.
Right. I can easily give him my jacket.
Right.
There you go, bud. People have been beaten or murdered over less.
Sure have.
Pike, he's furious. He's not just mad about him keeping the patches. He's angry about Giovanni trying to rally votes.
Right. You're going to go behind my fucking back when I just fucking told you guys were done?
Right. As far as he's concerned, Bandito Nation ain't no motherfucking democracy.
Oh.
Meanwhile,
it's a monarchy.
Right. Meanwhile, Sandham, he's busy writing to Houston as well. Only he's doing the opposite. He's praising the Bandidos over the top, almost groveling, telling them he's firmly on their side against the No Surrender Crew. I'll do whatever it takes. I'm with you, motherfuckers. They can't betray the patch like that. That's disrespectful. Put me in, coach.
I'm ready to play because he's playing his own game. He tells Kellenstein that the No Surrender crew are planning to ditch the Bandidos entirely and patch over to the Outlaws without Kellenstein.
They better do that quick.
Well, Kellenstein, he believes him. And just like that, Sandham's planting a seed of resentment that turns Kellenstein against his own supposed brothers.
Oh, shit. It's March 7th, 2006. Sandham, Kellenstein, younger Bandito named Weiche. Wake. Weiche.
White.
They make a trip out west to British Columbia.
BC.
Their destination, Peace Arch Park.
All right, okay.
Right on an American-Canadian border. Give him some order! Now, here's why this place matters. Most American bikers, they can't legally enter Canada because of their criminal records.
Right.
But at Peach Arch, you can stand on opposite sides of the border and still talk face to face.
Right, because it's right there.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's basically neutral ground.
Dude, you can do that in any part of Canada. There's so many parts that you
Right.
can just literally walk over the border.
Right. It's a popular meeting spot for Canadian and American bikers to talk business.
You think the cops would know that?
Right.
Well, that day, an American bandito named Peter Mongo McMichael Price,
Oh, nice.
he shows up to meet him. Price isn't just any member, though. He's the National Sergeant at Arms for the Bandidos USA,
Oh.
which means he's in charge of discipline for the whole organization.
Oh, and he's a bad hombre, too, I bet.
And he doesn't come alone. With him are Kennard Hawaiian Ken Post and Brian Bentley from the Washington State chapter.
Oh,
The fact that Price had flown all the way from Houston to this little park says one thing.
you ain't kidding.
Whatever he's here to say, it's too important to trust to a phone call or an email.
Right.
He's got to make sure these people are hearing it right from his own lips.
Wow. Okay, that's getting a little interesting here. There's the message that he had. Houston is furious that the so-called No Surrender crew up in Toronto are still wearing Bandito patches months after being expelled. Price tells Kellenstein straight up, you can pull the patches from the No Surrender crew, meaning physically take their Bandito colors. Guess what? You get to be the new Canadian
Well,
president.
look at that shit.
He's like, oh, hell yeah, Sandham's probably going to be pissed. As a bonus, the Winnipeg
Right.
chapter will finally be granted full patch status. Here's the flip side, though. Kellenstein and Sandham fail, they'll be expelled, too.
On to
We don't even know what expelled means.
right, which kind of expelled.
All right.
Well, according to Sandham's later testimony in his 2009 trial, well, yeah, it's spoiler alert. Price, speaking on behalf of world leader Jeff Pike, went even further. He said Giovanni and the rest of the No Surrender crew were to be killed,
Ooh.
and that Kellenstein would be awarded with the top Canadian spot afterwards.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Well, after the meet-in, White, he decides to stay out west in Vancouver, but he keeps in regular phone contact with Sandham. And in the days following, Sandham's tone in emails to his enemy, Louis Chapter Raposo, shifts. He's mocking, smug, full of superiority. He knows Houston's on his side. He said, you guys can't do shit to me.
This guy's a moron. Between 20th of March and the 22nd of March, Sandham's back. He's back in Vancouver. He's got a meeting again with American Bandidos at the Peace Arch Park. Winnipeg crew later claimed that during this time, Sandham, he got a call from Hawaiian Ken himself, asking why the No Surrender crew was still wearing those damn patches.
Right, dude, it's been a couple months now.
Accusing everyone in Canada of incompetence for letting it slide. He says, you guys are a bunch of fucking pussies. Is it true what they say? You guys are too nice to do anything about it?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Then March.
I was about to do it, and then he said, look at my wife. He made you guys some
Maple syrup.
flapjacks.
Right.
And we're like, oh,
Right.
you can keep those patches for the day. And then every day, come up with something else.
Well, then March 25th rolls around. Sandham tells his guys he's got orders from Houston.
All right, it's time to go, McClellan.
Time to act.
It's time to go, McClellan.
Right. The plan, well, that's to head to Kellenstein's farm, unannounced, take down the No Surrender crew. He reassures everyone, don't worry, Kellenstein's got plenty of guns. Still, Sandham shows up prepared, bulletproof vest, box of surgical gloves. Ooh. The gloves, he says, are to keep fingerprints off the weapons,
Duh.
obviously. On the way, they stopped in Dryden, Northern Ontario. Sandham gets a call from his common-law wife, Kathleen. She says Pierre Carlito Aragon, he's in Winnipeg looking for him. Word is, Giovanni and Salerno sent Aragon to kill Sandham, blaming him for their troubles with Houston. Well, he's not wrong.
Right. So when Sandham gets to Kellenstein's farm, he plays it cool. He claims he doesn't even know why he's been sent there. He says that Kellenstein will be getting more instructions from Houston. Kellenstein's surprised at the visit. But he doesn't waste time.
He said, let's go, doggy.
He takes charge. Starts pulling weapons from his hidden gun stash. Despite having 2 lifetime bans on possessing firearms, he's a self-described gun nut with a massive collection. He even shows off his wet work kit, which is hydrochloric acid and rubber gloves.
Put him in a barrel.
Right. This is his personal cleanup kit for after a moita. He says he always uses it when he kills somebody. That's what I always use when I kill somebody.
Well, with Sandham are 3 Winnipeg Bandidos. Dwight Big D Mushy. Marcelo Fat Ass Aravina.
Nice.
And Brett the Bull Gardiner. He's a former cavalry iron worker recruited by Mushy. All right. Good, we get a little background.
Fuck yeah.
Lore on Bull. There's also another man known only as MH. From Kellenstein's side, there's Frank Mather, a career criminal from New Brunswick with a long rap sheet for home invasions. He's currently acting as Kellenstein's bodyguard.
Okay.
Prosecutors would later call this assembled group the Farm Crew, and that name stuck.
Oh. Kallenstein, he treats the lower ranking guys, Arvana and Gardner, like servants.
Oh, yeah.
Gardner, well, not exactly the brightest one.
Oh, shit.
Once Kallenstein sent him out to pick pickles from the pickle tree on the farm. There's no such thing.
Cucumbers.
And it's still not a tree. Gardner spent hours searching before coming back to admit he couldn't find a pickle tree because it doesn't exist. They're all laughing their asses off the whole fucking time. That's great. I was like,
Gardner, you fucking idiot.
I was like, hey, man, go in there and give me some blinker fluid. Make sure it's the left. By early April, Kellenstein starts claiming that Flans, which is Giovanni's guy, is a police informant. Oh, Kellenstein's rabidly anti-Semitic, and since Flans is Jewish, his hatred is already personal. He's like, this Jew bastard. Giovanni doesn't buy the accusation, but they agree to meet at Kellenstein's farm to settle it.
Well, most of the no surrender crew are based in Toronto, but Kellenstein insists the meeting be at his farm. Giovanni agrees, idiot. Kellenstein also makes sure to mention that Sandham and the Winnipeg guys are staying there. Bait, since he knows Giovanni and Sandham despise each other.
Oh.
What Giovanni doesn't know is that he's planning to pull Kellenstein's patch too.
Oh.
Sandham's planning to pull Kellenstein's patch too? Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
he wants them both.
He's fed up with his racism and paranoia. The night before the meeting, the night before the massacre, Kellenstein sends all the women away. His common-law wife, Tina, his daughter, and Mather's girlfriend, they all leave. No women allowed at a murder scene.
Right, church meeting.
Or a church meeting, which is biker slang for mandatory chapter meeting, yeah.
Fantastic.
No old ladies around.
Right, now church meetings have a strict no guns rule, but Raposo isn't taking chances. He brings a sawed-off shotgun because he knows that Sandham will be there. Giovanni, well, he walks in believing he's safe.
Well, Giovanni's not too bright.
His only enemy in his mind is Sandham, and he trusts Kellenstein. He calls him brother. But none of them realize that the Popo has been surveilling them down to Highway 401 that very night. Detectives working the Douse murder are following the No Surrender crew right to Kellenstein's place. 32196 Aberdeen line.
During the drive, Cameron Acorn, he called Raposo from prison. Oh, telling him I love you, bro, over and over. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
No mention of any danger, though. He talks to Giovanni, and as journalist Peter Edwards would later write, Acorn says nothing to warn them. His silence that night is betrayal.
You kidding?
The police tailing them don't have a warrant to enter Kellenstein's property. And because Kellenstein had cut down almost every tree around his farm for a wide, clear view in all directions, they can't even get close without being spotted.
Right.
So they park miles away, heading down a country lane, and wait. And from that moment, there's nothing between the No Surrender crew and what's waiting for them.
Oh, shit. Here we go. Night of 7th of April, 2006. We're way out in Wayne Kellenstein's farm. It's late, about 10:30 p.m. Both sides of a very tense biker feud are showing up. No Surrender crew rolls into Kellenstein's barn, probably thinking this is going to be a tense conversation. But maybe still just a conversation.
Let's have some beers, fuck around afterwards.
Right. Now, Kellenstein's barn isn't exactly warm and inviting. We're talking rusting machinery shoved into the corners, old furniture stacked all around, random children toys having clearly been seen better days. The walls, well, plastered with pin-up style, very non-PG photographs. Titties all over the place. draped over Harley Davidsons, half dressed in construction gear as well as these women were. You know, just a typical nice little picture of a hot chick next to a bike. Kallenstein's usual stash of Nazi propaganda as well is all around the place.
Probably the flag and all that shit.
Right.
Kallenstein tells everyone to stick to the middle of the room. He's cleared out a patch just for them. And then there's the security situation. Sandham is literally up in the rafters with a rifle, scanning the room like a hawk. Oh, jeez. Outside, Mushy, Mather, Aravina, and someone identified it only as MH, like we said. They're patrolling with rifles and shotguns. Over in the house, Gardner, he's glued to police scanners, making sure no sirens are headed their way. And according to one version of what happened next, as soon as Louis Chopper Raposo stepped inside, he spotted Sandham aiming down at him from the rafters.
Oh, no.
In that split second, Raposo realized something was very wrong.
Yeah, he's about to get fucking murdered.
Like betrayal type wrong.
Right.
He raised his sawed-off shotgun and fired.
Oh, shit.
Damn, that escalated.
Whoa, Sandham, he was wearing a bulletproof vest. He caught only a slight injury, spun around, returned fire, killing Raposo. Here's the detail that sticks with you, though. Raposo's trademark gesture, his favorite, was flipping the bird. And the autopsy revealed that in the moment he died, Raposo had been doing exactly that.
Oh, damn.
His middle finger extended. The rest of his hand clenched. Sandman's bullet went straight through that finger, shattering it completely. Wow.
Well, that's crazy.
Forensic evidence doesn't back Sandham's claim that Raposo shot first, though. Sandham, well, let's just say his reputation as a well-known pathological liar who's not big on owning up to things doesn't help his case. Truth of the matter is, those few seconds is murky, except for this much. Raposo, he was giving Sandham the finger, and Sandham put a bullet.
That's probably what happened.
Yep.
He walked in, flipped him off, and then fucking Sandham was just like,
Yeah, fuck you.
Well, as if it already weren't to hell, it went more to hell. 2 members of the No Surrender crew, Paul Big Paulie Sinopoli and George Crash Kirakis, they made a break for
They're
it.
like, fuck this. I'm out.
Kallenstein, now armed with a handgun, gunned them down and wounded them before they could get away.
Damn.
And then in classic outlaw theater, Kallenstein shouted over the chaos, "Everybody get on the floor! Nobody move! I'm here to pull your fucking patches,
Right.
and this is being done by the orders of the states." Obviously, he means Houston.
Right.
And just like that, the night shifted from tense to deadly.
Damn. Over the next couple hours, Kallenstein can't seem to decide if he's just going to pull the patches, basically strip these guys of the colors, or outright execute them. He keeps flip-flopping. At one point, he even gets Giovanni, the national president, to make a quick call to his girlfriend, Nina, but only on the condition that he, quote, didn't say anything fucking stupid. So, Giovanni plays it cool. Said, "How's the baby? I'll see you in a couple hours. Love you." No hint of what's going on. No, call the cops or I'm in trouble. Just asking about their daughter. I bet that's like code, though.
Maybe.
Just asking about their daughter, Angelina. That was him. The macho biker code. Never ask for help. Even when you're staring down the barrel.
Well, meanwhile, Kallenstein, he's drinking hard and ranting to his prisoners, unloading years of grievances.
Oh, shit.
He even pistol whipped Flans multiple times,
Damn.
spitting out, "I'm saving you for last, you fucking Jew."
Ooh.
Like we said, Flans is Jewish, and Kallenstein, who's an admirer of Nazi Germany, he doesn't make no secret of his bigotry.
Right.
George Kriarakis, he's wounded in the thigh. He starts praying in Greek, begging them to spare his life because he's got a wife he loves and a family that needs him. But the answer is a cold shut up.
Right.
Besides him, Big Paulie, he's crying, saying he never wanted to come to Kallenstein's farm in the first place. And then we got Francesco Frank the Bammer Salerno. He cuts in with his harsh reality check. "We're bikers. We're not fucking Boy Scouts, so stop your whining."
Damn right. And
Damn.
give up your fucking patches. Shit.
Too late now.
Well, a few times Kallenstein tries to convince Giovanni to side with him, join his little coup. But Giovanni keeps refusing. Instead, he's asking for an ambulance for Sinopoli and Kyriakis. He even defends Flans against accusation of disloyalty. Finally, Kallenstein makes up his mind. They're all going to fucking die. The Ontario Court of Appeal would later call what happened next an execution assembly line. Damn.
Well, at around midnight, an OPP constable, Perry Graham, he's patrolling the countryside. He comes across a surveillance van sitting in a wooded lane in the dark. They tell him they're investigating another murder, so he moves on. By 12:30 a.m., the team, they actually go home. They've noticed nothing. Back at the barn. Back at the barn as the men are marched out and shot. Kellenstein, now seriously drunk, he's dancing a jig and singing Das Deutschlandlied.
Oh, man.
Which is the German national anthem. Between execution, he keeps wandering over to taunt Flans.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Holy shit. When it's clear that Giovanni's time is up, Giovanni tells them, do me first. I want to go out like a man. And according to a police wiretap, Michael Mushi, he later told Diego Aravana, this guy, he went out like a man. He laughed. Went like a man. Kellenstein personally executes Giovanni. He's marched out, made to sit in his car, and shot point blank in the head, then again in the chest.
Damn.
Kyriakis, he's next. He's still praying in Greek. And they take him out and shoot him. Later, Mushy, he would say that how surprised he was surprised that Kyriakis cried so much. He expected more of a tough biker bravado, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, and you never know what's going to happen when you're going to die.
Well, then you got George Pony Jasome. He goes out next saying nothing. Then it's Sinopoli's turn. He's screaming, crying, begging not to be there. Kellenstein shoots him, but the gun jams, leaving him bleeding and in agony.
Oh.
Well, Aravina fetches another gun, and Kellenstein finishes the job. Flans and Michael Little Mickey Trotta, they're then ordered to bleach away the blood on the ground. In one surreal moment, Kellenstein brags about what a hard worker he is, about how great a job he's doing killing them, and complains they aren't grateful enough for I'm killing you so good.
Right. Wow, one by one, the rest are taken out. Nobody in Kellenstein's group, and remember, most of them are armed, makes any move to free the prisoners or even shoot Kellenstein. Even those without guns could have called the cops. Gardner literally has a phone right next to him while he's listening to the police scanners. But he doesn't call because he's chasing that full patch. He wants to be in Bandito.
Why would they?
Right. Frank Salerno, the Bammer, he tries to shake hands with one of the killers, known only as MH. And MH says, no. Salerno also offers his hand to Ivana, who says, I'm not shaking your hand. His last words are about his newborn son, Mario.
Flans, he's deliberately saved for last, so he suffers the most. He spends that time talking about his kids. Trotta is taken out silently, and finally it's Flans' turn. Gardner even moves children toys from Trotta's car so there's room for Flans' body.
Wow.
By now, Kellenstein's too drunk to do it himself, so Sandham steps in. He shoots Flans in the head, but even at point-blank range, he's so nervous that Flans is still alive afterwards.
Oh, wow.
Sandham claims his gun jammed, but really he just can't finish the job. Flans looks up with this sad, pleading expression, like he's silently asking to be spared. Finally, Mushy, more experienced than Sandham, he takes the gun and proves it's fine. He fires a shot that ends Flans' life right in the head.
Damn. After all that chaos, Kellenstein gives the order. Load the bodies into their vehicles. And right away, there's a problem. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to drive Giovanni's car. Why, you ask? Well, it's very simple. He's still in the driver's seat, and the whole front area is drenched in blood.
That'd be a good reason.
That's not actually a good road trip there. So instead, they hook Giovanni's car up to Giacome's tow truck, and they haul it that way.
Right, that would be right. Well, then there's Sinopoli. He's a big guy, and big might actually be underselling it. They try to get his corpse into the trunk of an SUV with the others, but it doesn't fit. The whole drive, his body is basically threatening to roll out onto the highway. Imagine trying to keep that from happening while driving up the 401 at night.
Damn.
Okay. Mushy's stuck with Trotta's Pontiac Grand Prix, and he's annoyed for a different reason. The back seat's full of toys from his daughter.
Oh.
Before he can even put a single body in there, he's got to clear all that out.
Son of a bitch.
Jeez.
Right. Well, Kellenstein's grand plan, you ask? He don't even know. But he comes up with one. Dump the bodies in the Kitchener. Why the Kitchener, you ask? It was a known Hell's Angel stronghold, and he figured, hey, cops would blame them. But here's where the master plan hits a brick, and it's a brick wall. Nobody bought enough gas. They can't make it to the Kitchener.
Why do you just keep saying the?
Huh? I said they.
Yeah.
Nobody-
They can't make it to the Kitchener? You said the Kitchener every time you said Kitchener.
Right. They can't make it to Kitchener. So instead, they randomly pick a farmer's field.
What a bunch of idiots.
All right, off the 401, and they dump the bodies there. Mathers in Flan's Infinity, and also running on fumes.
Wow.
He sees the Stafford line meet the highway. He turns in, and that's it. That's where everything gets left. And if you're wondering, no, they did not. They did not burn those bodies or the cars.
Oh, man. I did not hit her. I did not.
They didn't burn those bodies or the cars. Why, you ask? Well, here's a quote. They're too cheap to buy enough gasoline.
Apparently. Now, Kellenstein, he's still back at the farm, completely unaware they've cut the trip short. When the crew gets back after only a half hour, he's baffled. How far did you guys go? I told you to take them all the way to Kitchener. The Kitchener. After that, the so-called farm crew, they get to work on cleanup duty. Burning some of the victims' belongings, keeping some as souvenirs. And Edwards, looking back, summed it up in a way that really sticks. Kellenstein alone might have not been as dangerous that night.
No.
Sandham, the cop, he brought ambition. Kellenstein brought the crazy. Together, that was enough to get 8 men moited brutally.
Oh, it was, dude. Son of a bitch. 8th of April, 2006. Sun's barely up over rural Ontario. It's about 7:45 a.m. This is when Russell Steele, he's a farmer, he gets a call. Other end is another farmer, Forbes Oldham. He's sounding a little unsettled. Forbes tells him, Hey, Russell, there are vehicles parked out in your cornfield, bud. Well, that's not the kind of thing you just shrug off. He's like, in my cornfield, them sons of bitches.
They just left the...
So Russell and his wife Mary head out to see what the hell's going on. And when they get there, you already guess what they see. It's not just a few cars in the field. They find corpse. Multiple bodies. They don't waste any time. They call the police.
Holy dumbass motherfuckers, dude. Well, meanwhile, back in the Bandido biker world, Giovanni's girlfriend Nina Lee is trying to get in touch with her boyfriend. Around 8 a.m., she calls Wayne Kellenstein and asks where Giovanni is. Kellenstein tells her, real casual, he just left. Inside the club hierarchy, things are shifting. Both Aravina and Gardner get promoted in the Bandido ranks. Gardner even decides to stick around Kellenstein's farm. But the Winnipeg crew, they head out later that morning.
Drive back to Winnipeg. It's tense. Put it lightly. Mushy, he's openly calling Sandham a pussy for not being able to finish off Flans. Aravana, he keeps nervously checking in with Mushy, asking over and over and over and over and over if he's going to kill him. Sam's acting more pompous than ever. And MH, well, he's already thinking about flipping and talking to the cops.
Of course he is.
This guy.
Meanwhile, Walmart security camera in Barrie, they caught the Winnipeg Bandidos between 10:21 and 10:23 a.m. MH, he would later testify about a strange little stop. They're wandering the aisles, and Mushy tells everyone they should pick up some Head & Shoulder shampoo. Why? Well, because according to Mushy, it's the best shampoo to get rid of gunpowder residue.
Really?
Well, if we can get rid of skin residue and get rid of gunpowder.
Right.
Back at crime scene.
Let's take a look at the crime scene. Things are lining up quickly for the investigators. Victims, last seen alive, heading to Kellenstein's farm. Now the bodies are found just down the road. So, right from the start, Kellenstein is looking like suspect number uno.
Right, but like, what a terrible thing. Like, they didn't tell anybody they were going there.
Right.
And he had the dude call his wife. So the wife already knew that he was there.
Dumb. By that afternoon, Detective Inspector Paul Beasley of the OPP, you all know me, a guy running the investigation.
I would assume so.
He gets a judge to approve a search warrant for the old farm.
Oh.
And about 3:05 p.m., who shows up at Kellenstein's place? You guessed it. Two of his buddies, Kerry Morris and Eric Neeson. They're not just there to hang out. They're there to help clean up and come up with an alibi. The plan, you ask, was simple enough. Morris and Neeson, they'd say that they spent the night on April 7th drinking beer with Kellenstein at his farmhouse. Too drunk to drive home. That was it. No violence. No bikers dying in the barn. What did I know of?
The problem is, the cops already have unmarked cars stationed at Aberdeen Line watching the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
They see Morris and Neeson helping Calistine scrub out the barn.
Oh, jeez.
Which is not exactly the image you want to be caught when there's 8 bodies lying in a cornfield down the road and you're public suspect in number uno.
I hope they're taking pictures and shit. So here's how it all hits the headlines, boys. The moment those bodies were found, the media in Toronto went into overdrive.
Pretty like a murder, eh?
Right, pretty much instantly. Fingers pointed straight at the Hells Angels, which that's what they wanted. No hesitation. Journalist Edward, he calls up a Hells Angel he knows and asks, "You guys have anything to do with this?" Angel just laughs. What could we even take from them? They didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. Turns out, it was actually true.
No shit.
There was nothing to steal. No reason to bother.
Edward, he talks to another member, and that guy's even colder. He says it's a great day when you wake up and your enemies have killed each other.
Right.
This wasn't just a Canadian news story either. It went global. We're talking front pages at the Times in London.
Well,
the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia.
Well, it makes sense since it's all part of...
the Irish Examiner in Cork. Oh. Even the People's Daily in Beijing. CNN, Fox News, they both sent crews to tiny Shedden to cover with reporters what we're now calling the Shedden Massacre. Of course they are.
Son of a bitch. Problem was Shedden's residents hated that.
I bet they did.
Their hamlet had nothing to do with the killings. They're like, it's a peaceful little town. We can't help these freaking meth heads from killing each other. Suddenly, their town's name was being splashed across the country like it was a war zone. Meanwhile, and all their house prices just...
Right.
Meanwhile, down in Houston, official Bandidos website, no condolences. None. And if visitors tried to post any, they were deleted. Clean slate.
Oh.
Back in Winnipeg, Sandham, he was doing what he did best. He was scheming. He started firing off emails to Houston, trash-talking Calistine, calling him a loose cannon, pushing to be made the Bandido national president himself.
National?
Canada.
Canada.
This guy poured on the flattery thick as hell. One email had written, "This brotherhood means everything to me, and to wear the best colors in the world is a great honor for me." In typical Canadian fashion, they used the U and colors and honor. Like he was auditioning for the role. He was like, hey.
Clearly was.
Come on, guys. Who else you got left?
Yeah, but then come the arrests. April 9, 2006, police grabbed Calistine and hit him with first-degree murder charges.
Idiot.
But here where it gets a little messy. His buddies Michael Neeson and Mary Morris, they had told police they were at his farm the night of murders, yeah. The lie, it landed them in the same boat. First-degree murder charges.
All right, you guys were there? Okay.
They were stunned. Morris just kept screaming, "What? What?" over and over again.
Wait a minute.
What?
Second thought. I was not there.
What?
I'd rather take the line to a cop. Obstruction of justice. Or
cleaning up a crime scene or some shit.
You can still get years for that, I think.
Not more than murder.
You never know. Madler and Gardner, you ask? Same fate. Arrested. Charged. Suddenly looking at life in prison. Idiots. When the Popo searched Calistine's farm, they found a vice in his workshop where guns had clearly been sawed down just recently.
How would they know?
But the actual murder weapons, nowhere to be found. And that missing piece had Investigator Beasley seriously worried.
Right, no weapons.
Like shit.
Well, after Sandham came back, the Winnipeg police didn't waste any time with him either. They put him under quiet surveillance, just waiting for him to slip up. And on the afternoon of the 10th, Constable Grant Goulet, he spots Sandham pulling into a car wash. But it wasn't just rinsing the salt off. He was having the inside of his blazer cleaned.
Oh.
Which, if your cop sets off alarms that you're looking at this guy for murder and he's cleaning the inside of your car.
No one. They only have vacuums and shit like that there for a reason. A few days later, it's 14th of April. One of the key players identified only as MH.
It's because he's a snitch.
He sits down with Constable Timothy Diak. And Diak doesn't sugarcoat anything. He tells MH, "We know you're a part of the massacre. Got 2 choices. You can help us, maybe get immunity or something shaved off your
sentence or something.
Or you can spend the rest of your life in prison next to the people that know you snitched."
Well, if he didn't snitch, he wouldn't be life in prison.
Questions, though. You never know. Right. The very next day, Sandham was at it once again. This time, he's getting his tires taken off his vehicle.
Oh.
Maybe he just likes to take care of his vehicle, guys.
Okay.
But instead of disposing of them properly, he just drives out to some remote country road and dumps them.
Well, that's a little weird.
Cops, of course, swoop in, examine the tires, and surprise, 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 they're a perfect match for the tracks that were found in Callistine's farm.
Oh.
Well.
Meanwhile, DH, he meets with Diak again on April 16th, and now he's making demands. He wants $750,000 up front, total immunity, and he never pays rent again.
Oh.
They haggle, and eventually the deal lands at full immunity, $1,300 a month for life, plus free rent.
Oh.
Damn. In exchange, MH will wear a wire and feed the police everything he learns.
No shit.
And by early May 2006, MH is wired up at his meetings with Mushy and Aravina. It's risky because they're already, probably weird with each other. Aravina, for his part, is absolutely thrilled. He's finally a Bandito prospect.
Hey!
That means he gets to wear the iconic patch.
Fuck yeah. Prospect, it says.
Right. It just, you don't get the logo. You just the prospect patch. Good for him, I guess.
Right. The Callistine farm was no longer just a quiet rural property. Become the center of a massive forensic investigation. Detectives, crime scene techs, they all picked apart every inch of that fucking place. And by May, they'd already made some chilling discoveries. For one, inside the farmhouse fireplace, they uncovered a set of charred keys. Keys that once opened the homes and apartments of 8 murder victims that would become known as the Shedden 8. Alongside them was partially burned business cards. The name still visible on it. Onico, the computer company owned by victim Michael Flans, the Jew. You know the Jew had to own the company.
Then May 24th, Constable Al Dubrow, he noticed something odd in the kitchen. There was a microwave, but beneath it, a hidden doorway. Inside a secret space was a stash that told its own story. Callistine's gun cache. Dubrow called in Officer Beasley, and together they put out 18 firearms. He's not supposed to have firearms.
Wow, ballistic testing linked several of those guns directly to the Moitas.
Oh, wow, he kept them.
A Mossberg handgun. Investigators found microscopic traces of blood. DNA analysis confirmed it came from the 5 of the victims. Flans, Kyriakis, Sinopoli, and Jasomi, and also Salerno. Another pistol, a high point .38 caliber, carried the blood of Troda and Sinopoli. The scene inside Callistine's barn was just as unsettling. Floor soaked in hydrochloric acid, part of what police called his wet work kit. Wet work kit? Suggesting attempts at dissolving evidence, obviously. And the farmhouse held even more clues. There was a ring with skin flakes embedded in it. DNA matched Flans. Baseball cap containing one single hair. DNA match, Kyriakis.
Well, they're getting lucky, huh? While the forensic team was working on the physical evidence,
The CI.
MH, he was working on something else.
Right.
That's getting people talking. Wearing a wire, he starts casual conversations with 2 suspects, Mushy and Aravina. It didn't take much to get Mushy to open up. He just don't know how to shut his mouth. MH, he just mentioned that another suspect, Sandham, had been bragging in underworld circles about killing 3 of the 8 men.
Oh.
Well, that was enough for Mushy to correct the story. Sandham, he said, only killed Raposo. And he botched the attempt to kill Flans because he was being a pussy.
Right. Son of a bitch. Wow. By mid-2006, tensions inside the Bandidos had reached a boiling point. Sandham, he found himself locked in a power struggle with Pierre Aragon over a big question. Who actually had the right to be the Bandidos' national president? Well, it ain't up to you guys anyway.
Right.
The feud was ugly. It was drawn out in true biker gang fashion. Didn't end with the handshake. Because on the 6th of June in 2006, Sandham officially expelled from the club.
Oh, wow.
Gotta go.
Around that same time, another thread in the tangled web started to unravel. Mary Thompson, racked with guilt for staying silent while Dowse was murdered, decided she couldn't live with it anymore. She went to the Ontario Provincial Police and told them the truth. That confession, you would imagine, set off a wave of arrests.
You ain't fucking kidding.
Brown, Quinn, Acorn, and Aragon, all charged with Dowse's murder in June 2006.
Damn.
At that time, Acorn, he was already behind bars in Penatanguishene prison. And Brown was sitting in Lindsay jail on other pending charges.
Oh, jeez.
Aragon, he was taken off the streets on Kipling Avenue in Toronto on June 21st. And Quinn's arrest came just a few days later on the 26th in Nelson, British Columbia.
Damn.
The old dominoes, as they say, are starting to fall.
Starting to fall, boys. Wow. Eric Neeson, 45. His common law wife, Carrie Morris, 47. They were a couple from the quiet little community of Moncton, Ontario. At first, the Popo hit them with the most serious possible charges. First-degree murder. Said you were there. But on the 6th of May, the charges were dropped. Instead, the two were recharged with 8 counts each of being accessories after the fact, which is still a long time.
Now they're staring down the terrifying possibility of life in prison.
Still, wow.
Neeson and Morris quickly abandoned the story they'd given earlier, an alibi meant to protect Calistine, clearly. Well, they told police they hadn't actually been at the farm the night of the murders. It was, they admitted a lie. And they weren't willing to risk the rest of their lives to fucking keep going with that damn lie.
You ain't kidding. Wow. 15th October 2007, both Neeson and Morris pled guilty to obstructing justice. They admitted they'd given Calistine that false alibi and even helped them get rid of evidence. The sentence, 2 years.
Hey.
Good for you guys. Probably did about 8, 9 months and good to go. Probation, house arrest or something. Afterwards, Morris, she spoke to the media, clearly still shaken by everything that happened. It's been horrible. Absolutely horrible, she said. My life's been destroyed. Friends, they just turned their backs. Oh, they don't want to be known for a bunch of criminals. It was probably a nice little tight-knit community and all that shit.
Not no more.
Calistine himself, along with the 4 other suspects tied to the murders, well, they all been arrested right at his residence. Just a few kilometers away from where the killings had taken place.
Yes.
Yeah. Elgin County, the surrounding area, had seen its share of biker gang presence over the years, but nothing even close to a crime of this magnitude.
June 16, 2006, Winnipeg police make a move. They arrest Mushy, Aravina, and finally Sandham. By that same afternoon, these 3 are in OPP custody.
Damn right.
Heading to St. Thomas, Ontario to face a judge.
Ooh.
The charge, you guessed it, 8 counts each of first-degree murder.
Fuck yeah.
And there's a bit of a mystery in the mix.
Oh, why?
Police also arrest a woman, though they keep her name out of the public eye. She's never charged. It's Mary Thompson. Along with these arrests, investigators seize an SUV. Mary Thompson was the
Mary
one
Thompson.
that was there.
Right.
They seize an SUV, sending it straight to Ontario for forensic testing.
Fuck yeah. Get
Bet
that.
I know what they're going to find in there.
Mm-hmm. Now, Sandham's arrest, well, that's where things get strange. During questioning with OPP Sergeant Mick Bickerton, Sandham flat out denies any involvement. It's like, no. Not once, not twice, but 223 times.
Hey.
His story, you ask? Well, it's very simple. He says he wasn't even in Ontario that weekend. According to him, he was in Winnipeg. He was raking leaves in front of his house.
Good for you.
Problem was, though, his street didn't have any trees.
They could blow in. That's crazy. What a fucking retard. Dude, these guys are so stupid. Rigging leaves where?
Oh, fuck. The problem was, though, when pressed further, Sandham claims he's not even part of the Bandidos anymore. He says he left the club back in 2005. It's the kind of defense that sounds less like an alibi, more like really bad improv exercise. One that investigators weren't even buying, not even for a second.
January 9th, 2007 in London, Ontario.
So we just drove past the whole fucking 5 blocks of your own neighborhood. There's not one fucking tree.
Matter of fact, you don't even have grass.
In fact, you
don't even have a house.
Right, you live in one of those government-owned fucking apartment buildings.
Right.
What do they call them?
Project.
Yeah.
Right. January 9th, 2007 in London, Ontario. The preliminary hearing for all 6 suspects in the massacre kicks off under extremely tight security. Right out the gate, Wayne Calistine, he makes sure the cameras catch his defiance, flipping off reporters and cursing at a courtroom artist. The judge quickly slaps down a gag order, shutting down media reports on any of the evidence coming out.
Oh, yeah, you gotta
Suppress that.
It's supposed to be a 3-month process. Instead, it dragged on until June 21st, when it finally wrapped. Justice Ross Webster ruled that all 6 would stand trial on all charges. Defense lawyers for at least 2 of them argued that the evidence should have led to reduced charges. They even floated the idea of appealing the ruling, something that could have stalled the trial for months.
Of course. But that wasn't the only case unfolding.
Oh, why?
July 3rd, 2007, another preliminary inquiry began. This time was for the 2005 murder of Sean Dowse. The Crown's key witness, Mary Thompson, she took the stand and testified that the accused beat Dowse to death inside Louis Chopper Flance's apartment on December 6, 2005.
Son of a bitch.
What happened next in court was chilling. When Thompson told the judge that the accused frequently called Dowse a racial slur, their so-called favorite name for him, the men started laughing and snickering.
Oh, no. Wow. It was a moment that cut deep for Dowse's parents and sister.
Yeah, they're about to get tried
for
for a hate crime.
Wow.
Well, when the inquiry ended and the case was sent to trial, Mary Thompson, approached the Douse family in person. She apologized for not coming forward sooner, and even for her own use of the slur towards Sean.
No.
But John Douse, Sean's father, didn't accept the guilt she carried.
Oh.
Instead, he told her, "Why are you sorry? You helped us. You're the star witness. Without you, there'd be no case." I thought it was going to take a different turn there.
Right. And they understood. We understood that it took you a little while. These guys are fucking animals.
Right.
The legal outcome came fast and furious. It's January 7th, 2008.
Family.
All 4 bandidos charged in Douse's death pled guilty. Rudolph Brown, second-degree murder. Robert Quinn, Cameron Acorn, manslaughter. Pierre Aragon, aggravated assault. Good job for you, Pierre. Just aggravated assault.
This is a little aggravating.
Justice Edwin Minden didn't mince.
He wasn't mincing words.
Justice Edwin Minden didn't mince his words. He called the killing of Douse a vicious, senseless, callous, cowardly killing, adding that the men should consider themselves lucky to be getting such light sentences. If Canadians were such easygoing motherfuckers, you guys would be going to the death penalty.
Well, then there we go back to the big trial. March 31st, London, Ontario. Courtroom's packed, media's buzzing. Aravina, Gardner, Calistine, Mather, Mushy, and Sandham. They're about to stand trial. All 6 stand up and in turn say the same thing, not guilty.
Right.
On the Crown side, the lead prosecutor is Kevin Gowdy. He's backed by a team that sounds almost like a legal supergroup. Fraser Kelly, Tim Zuber, David DeLoreal, and Meredith Gardner.
Kelly Zuber, DeLoreal, Gardner?
Gardner. That's a Gardner on Gardner crime.
All right.
And then we got the defense lineup, which is equally stacked, though let's just say a bit more colorful.
Okay.
Okay.
Calistine is represented by Clay Powell, a trial lawyer who's got a pretty wild claim to be fame. Back in 1977, he defended none other than Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones after Richards got busted for heroin possession in Toronto. Powell's co-counsel, Ken McMillan. Then there's Dwight Mushy's co-accused. Dwight Mushy and Michael Sandham, who had been defended by Don Crawford, a lawyer from the representing what he calls ambitious dimwits. Crawford got Gordon Cudmore as his second chair. Okay.
Well, Powell and McMillan's whole angle is that Sandham was this cold-blooded mastermind, ruthless, manipulative, pulling Callistine's strings to commit the murders. Crawford and Cudmore, they flipped the script, painting Calistine as the unhinged, bloodthirsty puppet master who pressured Sandham into the massacre. Of course.
They both had a loaded agenda. The rest of the defense team, well, they just pointed fingers at both of them. It's their fault. It's their fault.
Right.
It's their fault. It's like that picture of Spider-Man. Then we've got Gardner's lawyer, Christopher Hicks. His approach, you ask? Well, it's pretty unusual. He brings up this long, bizarre search for a pickle tree, supposedly growing on Calistine's farm, as evidence that Gardner isn't exactly a criminal mastermind.
You got that right.
I mean, my client was out searching for a pickle tree for 17 hours one day. and by God, did he come back with some pickles.
Dude came back with a beard.
So I didn't find him in any tree, but there were some laying in the ground.
In fact, Hicks argues his client's IQ is so low, he's so easily led that he couldn't possibly be the brains behind anything.
Right.
It was later summed up perfectly. Each lawyer seemed to be competing to prove their client was dumber, weaker, and crazier than their old Bandidos brothers.
Oh, jeez.
And if you've ever wondered what a murder trial looks like when nobody wants to be the smartest guy in the room, this is it.
Yeah, it's a shit show. Wow, here's the thing. Only 2 of the accused actually took the stand in their own defense. Honestly, if they were hoping to win the jury over, well, it didn't go as planned. I can just see. First up, you had Sandham. Whoa! His testimony, golly. Let's just say it's memorable. But not in the way his lawyers were probably hoping.
The bad memory.
Right. He spent a lot of time crying, saying it was unfair that he was being charged with first-degree murder for his part in the massacre.
It's unfair. I've been charged with first-degree murder for murdering.
Just shot
In the first degree.
Just shot the one guy.
Peter Edwards says Sandham delivered a lie-filled fusion of self-pity and selfless heroism.
Oh.
Picture a speech where you're the misunderstood hero, but also the victim. Hero and victim, huh?
Yep.
This all kicked off on September 9th, 2009, and it went downhill fast.
I bet.
Then there was Aravina. He stepped up on September 22nd, right after Sandham's courtroom meltdown. Compared to Sandham, his style was less weepy defense and more, I'm just not that smart.
Right. Atupi.
He testified how he had low intelligence, sort of painting himself as someone who couldn't have orchestrated anything major. But the old Crown attorney wasn't buying it.
Oh. Wow.
They're probably right.
Right. They pressed him until he had to admit that, yes, he could have asked for help if he'd really wanted to. And finally, there was the Crown's star witness, known only as MH. When they seen him come there, everybody was like, oh, no.
Right.
This guy.
Why isn't he sitting with the rest of us?
Right. This guy, he's one of the killers. But here's the twist. We already know that it's not a twist anymore, guys. we know that he turned Crown's evidence. His testimony painted the whole massacre as a bungled, almost cheap plot led by Wayne Kelstein himself.
It's not even true. Fucking Sandham came to the farm unannounced.
Yeah, but Kelstein was going to kill all those other guys anyway.
Yeah, but the massacre wouldn't have took place that day if fucking Sandham wouldn't have came to the farm.
Right, and shot that dude.
Right.
Up in the rafters.
Went out with a middle finger.
Right. His testimony painted the whole massacre as a bungled, almost cheap plot led by Wayne Kelstein. Someone MH described as indecisive and far from a criminal mastermind. In other words, the entire thing wasn't some flawless outlaw plan. It was messy, poorly thought out, and drenched in chaos, obviously.
When it came time for the Crown's final address to the jury, Prosecutor Gowdy didn't sugarcoat anything. He's not a sugarcoater. We learned about this guy.
Yeah.
He openly acknowledged that MH was their star witness, and then that he was hardly a model citizen either.
Right.
But he argued the forensic evidence lined up with MH's testimony, giving it weight despite the man's character flaws. Of course,
I mean, if
of course the evidence is going to line up. The dude was there.
Right.
There's no disputing that.
And if he's getting immunity, dude, he's going to tell you everything, even the
Right.
shit that he did. Wow.
Fuck it.
Right. And then Gowdy, he laid out his whole central point. Even though Mather, Aravina, and Gardner hadn't pulled the trigger themselves, they were still just as guilty of first-degree murder. Why, you ask? Well, because there was a clear plan to kill the so-called no-surrender crew. And these three, they were part of it. By guiding the prisoners, they directly helped facilitate the killings, putting them on the same level of responsibility as Kelstein, Sandham, and Mushy.
And MH, don't forget MH.
He put it plainly for the jury. People who intentionally help or encourage others to kill are as guilty as those who pull the trigger. Just leave it with that.
All right. Gowdy argued the case screamed premeditation. The killers, they armed themselves beforehand. They were wearing rubber gloves. And in Sandham's case, he even had his old, worn-out bulletproof vest on.
Wow.
This wasn't a plan, Gowdy told him. This is amazing luck. There's plan and ambush written all over it, though.
Damn right. It all came to a head on the 29th of October, 2009. Jury walked back into the courtroom, delivered what would go down as one of the most staggering verdicts in Canadian legal history. 44 guilty verdicts for first-degree murder.
Ever since the old maple syrup heist of 67.
Right. 44 guilty verdicts for first-degree murder. 4 more for manslaughter. It's believed to be the largest number of murder convictions ever handed down for a single criminal proceeding in all of Canada. Sentences were devastating. Wayne Kelstein, Michael Sandham, Dwight Mushy, each convicted of 8 counts of murder.
Frank Mather and Aravina Marcello, they were each found guilty of 7 counts of first-degree murder, plus 1 count of manslaughter.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. Brett Gardner was convicted of trying to find a pickle tree. He was convicted of 6 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of manslaughter.
Son of a bitch.
And when it came time for victim impact statements, the room grew heavy. Vicky Kriarakis, mother of George, stood before the court and said, I miss George. I wake up in the middle of the night and I feel the terror in his eyes.
Oh, fuck.
Right.
Wow. Teresa Musadea, daughter of Giovanni, they call him John in Boxer, spoke of the deep void left in her life.
We thought we'd tell you that 48 minutes into the
Right. She said, Daddy's missing. Daddy's gone from my life. Missed her daddy every single day, she says. Said that her own daughter will never grow up knowing her grandfather. Then she revealed a gutting detail. Her daddy had once helped Kellenstein pay his mortgage, simply to help a friend. That kindness was repaid with betrayal and murder.
Wow. Well, it didn't end there. Aravina, Gardner, Kellenstein, Mather, Mushy, Sandham. Of course, they all filed appeals, though Sandham later abandoned his.
Yeah, he's fucked.
April 16, 2015, the Ontario Court of Appeal dismissed the rest. 3 of them, Gardner, Mather, and Ervina, they made one last attempt, seeking to have their case at the Supreme Court of Canada. But April 7th, the Supreme Court closed the door for good, dismissing the applications. Good.
Fucking appeals. So, let's take a look back. A lot of people who studied outlaw biker culture in Canada would tell you that Massacre wasn't exactly a showcase.
I don't think you have to study
masterminds.
outlaw biker culture. You just gotta read a couple cases and be like, these guys are fucking retarded.
Right. Yves Levine, who's basically the guy that journalists call when they want to understand the biker underworld.
Well, even though we've been getting quotes from fucking Edwards all day.
He told the London Free Press in 2016 that, well, bikers aren't exactly known for being geniuses, or at least these particular ones weren't.
Right.
You compared the whole thing to the NHL expanding too fast and lowering the bar.
Of course, a fucking Canadian presumably would.
Just like hockey, eh? They got too many teams.
They went too many teams.
Too many teams. Should have stayed at 6. The Bandidos, according to him.
8.
Yeah.
Wait.
6.
6.
The Bandidos, according to him, were recruiting anyone that could get their hands on.
He could have compared it to the NWO.
Right. Some guys didn't even know how to ride a motorcycle. Which, kind of defeats the purpose of calling yourself a motorcycle club.
Well, to be fair, there's not a lot of racers out there on NASCAR that know how to work on their own cars either.
Right.
So. Well, Levine wasn't just trying to romanticize anything either. He was blunt. These weren't cool. That's not cool.
That's not cool.
They weren't cool, leather-clad rebels from a movie.
Damn right.
They were rejects from other gangs.
Oh, fuck.
The class dummies, as he put it.
Yeah.
His takeaway from Shedden: don't try to be something you're not.
Right.
Edward Winterhalter, who used to be a bandito himself, he didn't disagree. Well, he summed up in 3 words: it's meth logic. In his view, it all made perfect sense to Kellenstein because Kellenstein was high on meth at the time. Yeah.
And he was drunker than piss.
Right.
Fallout, huge. Toronto chapter of the Bandidos, wiped out. Winnipeg chapter, prison. Just like that. The Bandidos in Canada, finito. Finiaches. Over. When the dust settled, there was only one major player left. The Angels. Journalist Peter Edwards says, in Ontario, you had the Hells Angels. And the people that the Hells Angels let exist. They either worked with you or they didn't care about you.
And that's that.
It always circles back to the Hells Angels.
And that's that. That was the old Shedden Massacre and downfall of Canadian Bandidos.
Yeah, I can see these guys why they weren't getting into the Bandidos.
Right. They're a bunch of dummies, dude. There's no way they can be that stupid. But they were. Unfortunately. Next month's Bandito episode, we're going to take a look at the rest of the world, minus
Germany? Wow.
Minus the United States and I think Australia and Denmark or something like that.
Why?
Because they had their own big stuff went on there.
A lot of Denmarkians were in Bandidos?
We got Germany. We got Finland, Ireland. We got Netherlands. New Zealand, Norway land, Portugal land, Spain land, Sweden land, and a bunch of other places. Thailand.
Did you know that one of those countries is the only country on Earth that has no native mammals? It's crazy. There's only one country in the world.
Probably Sweden.
Nope.
Probably Portugal.
Not at all.
It's probably New Zealand.
Yes.
Do you know that Ireland is the only place in the world that has no snakes? It's not the only place in the world, but Ireland literally has no snakes.
How the fuck does Ireland not have no snakes?
Because the guy got him out of there.
Peter Piper, Popper?
Peter Piper, but the one guy.
The snake guy.
He expelled the snakes from Ireland.
I don't even know how there would be anyway, because it's always cold in Ireland, isn't it?
They don't have any native snakes. Combination of factors related to geography. They can't swim over to their little island.
Right.
And climate. Yeah, St. Patrick, obviously, was the guy that drove him out of the island.
Mm-hmm. Supposedly. Ireland's too cold for snakes, and the land bridge between Ireland and Britain disappeared due to rising levels. Snakes were unable to migrate.
Yep.
Perfect.
Look at that. Cool.
Which is not a good thing, because, man,
must have a lot of rats.
you ain't fucking kidding.
Other things eat rats, like eagles.
Sometimes.
Yeah, we'll take a look at crimes around the world, and then continue on with the Bandidos. But next week, we'll be back for more remastered. I think we got a
few more Prohibition episodes coming up for you. And yeah, round it out with our serial killers as usual. Subscribe, like, comment, share us with your friends, leave a review, and we'll be back next week for more Outlaws, Gunslingers.
Bang dang.
We are the month of Michigan this week.
Yeah, bang dang.